Liverpool last season had a starting 11, and then there was a huge drop-off. That's not the case anymore. They have arguably 2 players for every position. I mean, that could be the difference between winning the Premier League and not.
Stevie Nicol feeling so positive as ever. Well, I know
Yes,
that we have been talking.
I've never seen him. Never seen him this happy a pre-season.
Listen, it's so long since we won the championship. Because even I was playing there.
I've never seen Stevie so excited.
Why should I be
So this is the year then, Stevie. You are confident. Tell us now, this is the year.
I'm not saying that. I am saying that 100% they will compete for the title. That's what I will say.
Well, speaking about competing for the title, I know we've spoken about this before as well, but how important is it for them to have Mo Salah recreate a similar season as what he had last time out? Touchy.
I'll let you take this one.
If anybody thinks that Mo Salah is going to score 44 goals again this season, then I don't think that.
Remember that
possible.
pressure of the Liverpool fan that you spoke of, Stevie, on the show the other day?
Yeah, but, you know, if he does what he's expected to score 20, 25 goals a season, as is Mane and Firmino, shown that he can get up in the other 20s as well. That's how generally the good teams do it. It's spread around. You know, unless you're a Messi or a Ronaldo and every single thing is built for you to score, then that's how it's done. And I think that's how Liverpool can do it.
Well, we like to talk about the amount of money that managers spend, Shaka, and Klopp has spent quite a bit of money. So does he have to win something this season?
Look, if we're talking about spending and spending being the precursor to winning stuff, nobody spent more than Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. I don't think anybody's squad is stronger, including Liverpool's, than Manchester City's. No, but that's just the reality. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, the thing for me is, yes, Jurgen Klopp has spent a lot of money, and I think he's had quite a honeymoon period without bringing home silverware. Yes, getting to the Champions League final, I think, eases some of those pressures that we were hearing around Christmas time last year about Jurgen Klopp and his spending and the media's love of him, etc., etc. But you put together that kind of a run, and I think it eases a whole lot of pressure. The judgment on Liverpool will be how far they can push Manchester City. Whether they can, you know, win a cup, the FA Cup or the League Cup or whatever it may be, I think it's icing on the cake. Ultimately, Liverpool will again be judged on pushing City domestically, and if they can go deep, I don't expect them to go as deep in the Champions League this year, but they've got to not just get out to the group stage, but get 1 or 2 rounds further in.
Stevie, does he have to win something this season, or what would make for a successful season then?
No, I don't think he has to win something. I think he has to challenge right up to the very end for the Premier League season. If he doesn't, then I think we will ask questions. You know, I'm sitting here smiling, what, 2 minutes ago? But the matter of fact is, the game's not played on paper. It's played on the grass, on the field, and you have to get results. And Liverpool and Klopp have to get results in order to challenge City. And that is what this team is built for. This team's not bought and built to win the FA Cup or the League Cup or whatever they're calling it these days. This team is being built to win the Premier League title.
There's some big news in terms of transfers coming out of Italy involving AC Milan and Juventus. Paolo, what can you tell us?
Yeah, it looks like we're very, very close to getting everything done on the deal that everyone's been talking about for the last couple of days, which would be Higuain going to Milan and also Caldara going to Milan. So a centre-back and a striker on the way to Milan from Juventus, with Leonardo Bonucci, of course, going in the opposite direction. So a sort of incredible about-face from just one summer ago when Bonucci was the big coup of Milan's summer of 200 million euro spending. He was the centrepiece, he was the star. And he's already on his way back to Turin, where a lot of people aren't happy about it, by the way. A lot of Juventus fans not thrilled with the idea of him coming back after deserting the club, in their view, certainly. And meanwhile, 2 very important pieces going the other way. So potentially, well, not potentially, this is basically a done deal now. A huge deal for Serie A for Juventus and Milan.
Well, I know you said that that Juventus fans probably felt a bit aggrieved that Bonucci deserted them, but we know that he had a bit of a spat with Allegri, and interesting to see him now coming back to that. Do you see that coming into play at all, or have they kissed and made up?
I mean, of course, this is going to be a huge sort of central piece of it all. Look, Allegri's always been a big pragmatist. Allegri has always been someone who is willing to not get into big disputes, not let little off-pitch things stop him from focusing on what he considers to be important. I think he will probably feel like he kind of proved his point over the last 2 seasons. Of course, this all, I don't know if you can say it began there, but the moment where it really went public was when Allegri benched Leonardo Bonucci for a Champions League knockout tie against Porto. Big game away in the Champions League. And at the time, Bonucci was absolutely considered an indispensable part of that starting 11. So he showed his power in that situation. Juventus still won and went through the tie. And at the end of the season, it wasn't Allegri that left. It was Bonucci who left. So Allegri has already shown that when push comes to shove, he has the backing of the club. He's the guy who's going to have the support of the people, his higher-ups, in effect. So it's Bonucci who has to eat the humble pie here, who has to come back, who's taking a reported €2 million cut in his salary to come back as well, by the way. There's no question anymore that Allegri is in charge of this situation. And if Bonucci is willing to work with him, is willing to play his way, I don't see it being a problem for the manager, at least. I think the bigger problem is going to be with the fans.
Stevie, do you think this is going to be able to be a bit of a problem?
No, not at all. Not at all. Bonucci's coming back because he knows the grass isn't greener. He's realised how lucky he was to be at Juventus. Allegri, as Paolo says, is now the guy in power. And I'm sure Allegri will make sure Bonucci knows that. But Bonucci is going to walk through that door with his tail between his legs. He'll be like a wee lapdog, and it'll be, Allegri, you just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
So he's swallowing his humble pie, you think?
This is going to be the biggest humble pie eating competition winner you'll ever see.
Shaka, who's got the better of this deal, you think?
Well, who's got the better of the deal? Milan have to get 2 players that I think they need. And then for Juventus, they've got that partnership back together again with Giorgio Chiellini. I'm with Stevie here. If Leonardo Bonucci does actually eat humble pie and recognise the power structure within this dressing room, then yes, it all works fine. My issue with that is, very rarely you do see players eat humble pie in that manner. If Bonucci does, this works perfectly for club, player and manager. If he doesn't, we've just got a reopening of the same wounds of just over 12 months ago.
Romelu Lukaku, among some other players, are set to cut their vacation short to join back up with Manchester United as they prepare to start the new Premier League season. And I'm sure that makes Jose Mourinho happy. Stevie Nicol is here with me for this one. He's slightly chuckling. Stevie, I know this will make Jose very happy indeed after all the moaning that's been going on in pre-season about not having his top players. But from a player's perspective, isn't this a bit ridiculous to do that?
I don't think ridiculous is the word. I think it's unfortunate, and I don't think it's good for the player himself. It's good for Manchester United. It means that he'll be closer to full fitness by the start of the season. It's good for Mourinho because right now he needs to get his players back and get some performances under the belt. But long term, this is not good for Lukaku. You're risking fatigue, you're risking with fatigue injury. And quite frankly, regardless of whether Martial had disappeared or not, after Lukaku, what did he have?
Well, that's my big question. So what do you want to see from Lukaku in the next season? Because he's been like hot and cold, a lot of excitement surrounding him joining up with Manchester United. But then we've been quite critical on him every now and again, especially on the show now. But we have seen what he can do at the top level. He's coming off a very good World Cup, we can say, for Belgium, so he definitely will have the confidence. So what do you want to see from Lukaku at Manchester United coming up in the next season?
His touch. You know, he scores goals. You look at the numbers there, they're pretty good. If his touch was better, those numbers would be better, and his all-round play would be better, which is going to benefit Manchester United. So he really, for me, needs to get a better touch. Is that going to happen? I'm not so sure.
What do you do then? When does he work on that?
Well, what you do with a Lukaku is you feed the bear. That's what you do. You give him balls in behind. You try and get him balls in the box where he can get opportunities. You know, if you want to play a lovely, nice passing game from back to front and involve him, then the chances are it's going to break down. So that's not his skill set. He does have other skill sets, and that's what Manchester United have to try and focus on.
All right, thank you so much, Stevie Nichols. So Jose Mourinho definitely will be a happy man to see at least Romelu Lukaku back with the squad early on. We'll see if it does pay off when the season does start. And welcome into Extra Time. That music means we're going to have fun taking some of your questions. Shaka's with me.
I have no idea.
Stevie's with me. Paolo Bandini is also here with me. We should celebrate that we still have Shaka Hissat before he goes off on yet another vacation.
Wait, hold on, hold on, wait, hold on a minute.
We'll get to that.
You appeared
Shaka.
first time. You appeared for the first time in God alone knows how long.
Where are you going on the
I
weekend?
checked.
Where
Where are you going on the weekend, Shaka? Where are you going
I'll be
tomorrow?
right here.
Where are you visiting?
I'll be right here.
Where are you visiting?
On the weekend, I'll be right here, Bristol.
Shaka,
I'm calling a
do you have
game on
day off
Saturday.
tomorrow? Do you have a day off tomorrow?
Where have you been for the last week?
Working.
Where?
In Miami.
Oh, yeah, right.
Bayern Munich.
I didn't see you once.
Because you don't tune in.
I didn't.
Shaka.
Yes, I do.
So you're not.
I don't need to
Hold
tune
on.
in.
Shaka,
I
are you
am
off
here.
tomorrow?
I don't need to tune
All right.
in. I am
Let's
here
get
every
into some
day.
questions
And
before
I have
Paolo
never
leaves
seen
us.
you.
In the very near
Paolo's
future.
the only well-behaved one on this show. Thank goodness for him. Let's start off with a question from Andrew Coates. And he wants to know, with Manchester United interested in Willian and Martial wanting out, would a swap deal be beneficial for both squads? Why don't we go to Paolo first then, since I'm tired of hearing your voice, Shaka.
What?
I mean, on paper, yes, I can see how that would be a beneficial deal for both squads. I don't know if it's necessarily on the cards, but it's crazy to me how quickly these things go around. I mean, it's really not that long. We were talking about Martial having a purple patch at United, playing well, and it just seems like it's a constant, ongoing situation for Mourinho at the moment. He can't ever get his attacking players to hold form. He only ever gets these little moments out of them, and then you look at guys who've gone away from his tutelage and had so much success under someone else, guys like Kevin De Bruyne. I think United have more than enough talent in that attack right now to do something productive. It's up to them to get something out of it rather than constantly looking for solutions outside.
I was as nicely put as I've ever heard anybody just say Mourinho just bores everybody to sleep. Somehow, Paolo made it sound like, so nice.
So nice.
It's poetry.
He's not going to get as much hate as you do on Twitter.
I
Shaka,
do,
what do you think?
About what?
The question, Andrew's question. A little swap deal between
So-
Willian and Martial.
Makes a whole lot of sense. Martial wants out quite clearly. And I mean, the trick is, no question, if Antonio Conte had stayed, I'm not sure how Willian stays on. Have things changed for Willian and with Seri coming in? Has that dynamic changed any? You'll have to assume yes, as of right now. So Martial out, yes. I'm not sure whether the other piece of the puzzle fits.
Stevie's itching to get into this one.
No.
What?
Tell you what, if I'm Man United, I'm taking that in a heartbeat. You know exactly what you're getting from Willian.
Yep.
We still don't know. Every time Martial steps on the field, we don't know what we're going to get. So,
Remember when
who
he was,
benefits?
Remember when
Say
he was
what?
the next
Man
Thierry
United.
Henry? Remember when
that
Martial was the
didn't
next
last
Thierry
long.
That's
Henry?
Mbappe now.
That didn't last long.
Yeah.
That did not last long at all. Moving on now to Saurabh Sharma. He's got it's like a 2-for-1er. He says, do you think Jose
Gonna write
will
them
still
twice.
be the manager of Manchester United at the end of the season? And how easy is it for a Liverpool legend like Stevie Nichols to accept the job at Old Trafford if it is ever offered? Oh, Stevie, we have to go to you on that one first.
From a purely professional point of view, any coach would be crazy not to take the job at Old Trafford.
Ooh, I can't wait to start these Stevie Nichols
From a
United.
former
Why you
Liverpool
talking
player's
that
point of
funny
view,
voice?
if you want to alienate half the population of Liverpool, then go ahead.
Just half. Just half the population.
Just half the
That's
population?
a conservative.
They might,
guess.
at the bar in New York, they might take your booth away at Carragher's if you ever took the United
I
job.
never thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not taking it then.
There is a Stevie Nichols
way.
booth, believe it or not.
There's no way I'm taking it then.
You have a booth at
Stevie
a bar
Nichols
in New
has
York?
a
I do,
booth at
yes.
a Liverpool bar in New York at Saturday.
I was in it last week as well.
Yeah, oh, well, they'll take that away and we can't do that.
Prices are
Let me
fantastic.
tell you something.
Let's go to the first part of his question. How many of you guys think that Jose Mourinho will still be at Manchester United at the end of next season? Shaka says yes.
I'm not so sure.
Stevie says he's not sure. Paolo, what do you think?
I'll complete the set. I think no. I don't think he will be there at the end of the season, no.
Shaka, interesting that you do, because you didn't even like this fit in the first place, and you still picture him going over 3 seasons somewhere?
He just signed a new deal in January. I think it becomes too expensive. Manchester United have invested too much in Jose Mourinho to sever those ties mid-season. I think they're seeing the season out with them.
Wow. That's one question answer I didn't expect from you. Let's move on then to Gus.
I'm full of many surprises.
Father of geese. I like geese. Anyways, you know what we like more than geese, or Shaka likes more than geese? Vacation, which is why he's asking this
Wait,
question.
how-
Who's going to have more vacation time, Shaka or Jose Mourinho, when he gets sacked at Manchester United? It will always be Shaka Hislop.
Hold on. Shaka, are you going to Martha's Vineyard tomorrow?
Shaka, tell the people where you're going tomorrow.
Shaka, are you going to Martha's Vineyard tomorrow?
I'm not participating in this
that doesn't count as
charade.
vacation.
Shaka, are you not going to
I'm
Martha's
not
Vineyard
participating in this charade.
Are you or not? Is it a simple yes or no?
Shaka, it's actually terrible weather here on this side of the world, so... But Shaka still has vacation. That's why he
simple
can't
yes or
give
no.
us this.
I'm not participating in the charade.
Paula wants to know. Paula, don't
Simple
you want
yes
to
or
know?
no? Yes. He said yes.
Shaka
Some
says
nod his
yes.
head.
And also, I still promise the people...
I'm not worried about knowing the answer. I just want to go on holiday with Shaka. I think that'd be a great holiday. Take me to Martha's Vineyard, Shaka. Let's do it.
Yeah, Shaka, take us all on vacation with you. Or tell us how you do it.
Shaka, you take the car on the ferry across.
Not participating in the charade.
Well, there you have it. Mr. Vacation strikes again.
I've been here
We're
all week.
all going on
I've been here
summer
all
holiday.
week. All of a sudden,
You
you show up.
a week or two.
Where's
Fun
Dan?
and
Or
laughter
three.
Where's
on
Craig?
Or
summer
five.
holiday.
Where were you yesterday?
For me and
all of a sudden it's me.
you. For a
Anyways,
week or
this is
charade.
a
two.
specific track of when Shaka goes
He's
on
going
vacation
where
or
the
not.
sun shines brightly. He's going where the sea is blue.
Oh, man. Forget
I've
about taking
seen
a job at Old
it in
Trafford.
the
Get Stevie on American
movies.
Idol or something.
Let's see if...
Oh, my
so-
goodness. That's true. We can't afford Stevie. Anyways.
All right.
Thank you, guys. That was an enlightening extra time.
No, it wasn't.
Thank We're now going to request vacation time through Shaka because he's the
Yeah.
only one that gets approved, apparently.
Just a big tick. Yes.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I know what he does. I'm going to take a picture of our producer's calendar
Can
where
I
he
go-
just
yes.
writes Shaka off without them even approving. He just goes Shaka off.
Is it okay if I... Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you mind? Yes.
He'll just go, hey, tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Please, can I? Yes. Would you mind? Yeah.
Let's go to our show promo, which Shaka will not be
Is
a
it
part
okay?
of the
Yes.
show tomorrow
It's okay if I-
because he is going on another day off. But make sure you tune in regardless. We are on daily on ESPN Plus.
What? I'm not coming back. I'm just not coming
It's your
back.
vacation.
I'm not coming back ever.
Are you going on a permanent vacation?
I'm just not coming back.
Romelu Lukaku, among some other players, are set to cut their vacation short to join back up with Manchester United as they prepare to start the new Premier League season. And I'm sure that makes Jose Mourinho happy. Stevie Nicol is here with me for this one. He's slightly chuckling. Stevie, I know this will make Jose very happy indeed after all the moaning that's been going on in preseason about not having his top players. But from a player's perspective, isn't this a bit ridiculous to do that?
I don't think ridiculous is the word. I think it's unfortunate, and I don't think it's good for the player himself. It's good for Manchester United. It means that he'll be closer to full fitness by the start of the season. It's good for Mourinho because right now he needs to get his players back and get some performances under the belt. But long term, this is not good for Lukaku. You're risking fatigue, you're risking with fatigue injury. And quite frankly, regardless of whether Martial had disappeared or not, after Lukaku, what did he have?
Well, that's my big question. So what do you want to see from Lukaku in the next season? Because he's been like hot and cold, a lot of excitement surrounding him joining up with Manchester United. But then we've been quite critical on him every now and again, especially on the show now. But we have seen what he can do at the top level. He's coming off a very good World Cup, we can say, for Belgium, so he definitely will have the confidence. So what do you want to see from Lukaku at Manchester United coming up in the next season?
His touch. You know, he scores goals. You look at the numbers there, they're pretty good. If his touch was better, those numbers would be better, and his all-round play would be better, which is going to benefit Manchester United. So he really, for me, needs to get a better touch. Is that going to happen? I'm not so sure.
What do you do then? When does he work on that?
Well, what you do with a Lukaku is you feed the bear. That's what you do. You give him balls in behind. You try and get him balls in the box where he can get opportunities. You know, if you want to play a lovely, nice passing game from back to front and involve him, then the chances are it's going to break down. So that's not his skill set. He does have other skill sets, and that's what Manchester United have to try and focus on.
All right, thank you so much, Stevie Nichols. So Jose Mourinho definitely will be a happy man to see at least Romelu Lukaku back with the squad early on. We'll see if it does pay off when the